year, there has been a 25 basis points increase. So it ends uncertainty, and at the same time they have given a roadmap for 2017 and 18. They have talked about 4 rate hikes in 2017 and 4 rate hikes in 2018. Now, how many of those rate hikes will actually happen? We have to wait and see, because this year also they had said there will be 4 hikes. And in any case, the situation internationally also, as you are aware, the situation constantly is constantly evolving and is ever changing. So obviously they will have to react to situations as they arise. The projection, the growth outlook, that is the projection with regard to growth and the outlook for growth which the US Fed has projected, it's a very marginal wafer thin improvement of growth projections. And so what is to be noted is that in other words, the growth outlook remains fairly stable. It has not declined, consequent to so many other developments of Brexit and now the vote in Italy and the other developments which are taking place. The growth outlook remains fairly stable, and marginal improvement which has been projected by the US Fed. Now, with regard to impact on India, I think the markets had already factored in a possible rate hike of 25 basis points. So therefore, I would expect our markets, our currency markets and other markets to stabilize, after some initial kind of ripples or volatility, what you may call. But that also has not been visible so far. And I think whatever movement is taking place in the stock markets or in the currency markets, whatever has taken place today is nothing unusual. So I think our markets have already factored in that rate hike. So I think our markets, including currency markets, would remain stable, would remain fairly stable. Now, coming to the currency related issues, it's about already 5 weeks since the decision was announced and the exchange of new notes for the old notes have commenced. You see, one thing which I think which has been missed out in all this during the last 5 weeks or so, that this is the first time that the security features, the design of the notes are entirely indigenously designed, and they have been done in-house. And earlier, if you look at the earlier 500 rupee notes or the other notes, which were the old notes, they were all designed outside and designed fairly, like quite long time ago. But this is the first time that these 500 rupee notes and 2000 rupee notes, which you are seeing, have been entirely indigenously designed. The security features also have been inbuilt. So to that extent, these notes are much more much more secure, and the possibility or the scope of counterfeiting or imitation or counterfeiting or coming out with fake Indian currency notes, to that extent it is far lower than the kind of scope which existed earlier. And the security features have been inbuilt. It's entirely an in-house design. So that is a positive aspect which I think we must note. And with regard to the supply of notes, the situation has been constantly improving day by day. Steadily it is improving. Initial focus was to supply 2000 rupee notes, so that in terms of value you replace the total value which is being taken out of the market consequent on the deposit of the old 500 and 1000 rupee notes. But parallelly, printing of 500 rupee notes had started. It's not as if they had not started. Parallelly, the printing of 500 rupee notes had started, and as we went by, the more and more production lines have now been diverted for printing 500 rupee notes, because there is we have enough number of 2000 rupee notes which have already been supplied, and there is enough number of stock which is available. But the printing of 500 rupee notes have now been significantly stepped up, and it is being pushed into it is being sort of supplied to the market, so that the circulation of the old 2000 rupee notes, that becomes much more mobile. Because there was a tendency, all of you are aware, and we have seen people were tending to hold on to the old 2000 rupee notes. So with supply of 500 rupee notes in bigger numbers, it is expected that 2000 rupee notes which people are holding in their wallets or elsewhere, it will come back into circulation. So the focus now in printing is now on printing more of 500 rupee notes, and both the BRB, NMPL, which is the two printing presses of RBI, and the two printing presses of the Securities and the SPMCIL, both of them are now concentrating on 500 rupee notes. Of course, there is printing of 100 rupee notes, 50 rupee notes, which are continuing. Now the 50 rupee notes and 20 rupee notes and 10 rupee notes, they run on different machines, and these high denomination notes are on different machines altogether because of their inherent design features of these currency notes. Now the process of distribution also has now been further streamlined. Each printing press has been linked to areas around it. I mean, they don't have to, in order to avoid what you call crisscross movement of stocks of notes. The entire distribution network and the process has been further streamlined. Airlifting is continuing to be done wherever necessary. And certain situations we find that there is a sudden report of shortage of currency, so airlifting is being continued wherever necessary. Emphasis has also been given in, as I had mentioned earlier, in making adequate cash available to the cooperative banks, to the district central cooperative banks also, for the purpose of disbursement of crop loans. On a daily basis, we are in touch with the NABARD, we are in touch with RBI, and also with the banks to ensure that the district central cooperative banks get adequate cash, so that they are in a position to give the cash component of the crop loans to the farmers. So in terms of total sowing area under Rabi, we are, there has not been any significant, we are almost on par with last year, and little bit of whatever shortfall.